Cogs, obviously sort of 10, 11 days till that opening game against Collingwood now. How's the group feeling?
Yeah, the excitement not only in the playing group, but the whole club. It feels like the build up to any season, let alone a showcase like the opening round this year. To be able to host the first game of the season at home for our supporters, it's something to look forward to. And last year was 40 degrees. I don't think it'll be quite that this year, but the crowd and energy in the place will be electric. And you can feel that amongst the playing group at the moment as we build for the next couple of weeks.
Can you describe just how different this pre-season has been? Obviously, last year was learning about Kingers, his game style. What have you been able to do differently this year to kind of run on with that momentum from last year?
Yeah, look, probably exactly as you said. Last year was a lot of learning. A lot of our time was spent learning on the track and then away from it. Rather, this year we know exactly what we want to achieve. It's about implementing that out there and then critiquing it. So, we're 2 years into a new system, and it definitely feels like that. It definitely feels that this year we've been able to come in knowing the answers and being able to, having to critique that off the back of it.
So, to ask the obvious, what is it you want to achieve?
Yeah, for me personally or the team?
Both.
Yeah, look.
Because do you feel as if at this stage in your life, hitting 30 and a father, and that you're playing the best football of your career?
Yeah, I do, and I think best in terms of being able to contribute towards the group. I think in previous years I may have had statistically better, but in terms of output for the team, I feel like I'm in that zone at the moment. I'm yet to achieve the ultimate, and I think if I'm being honest in my career, a lot of my early career was around results and winning, and what Adam Kingsley's brought in is to actually try and fall in love with the process. Is what you saw last year, the first half of last year, and we were losing, but we were doing a lot of the right things, and his consistent messaging around working on that process and it'll happen really taught me at 29, about to turn 30, probably, definitely the 1 year out of my whole career where I've learnt the most.
What about fatherhood? Has that changed, Stephen
Coniglio? Yeah, I think the perspective is a wonderful thing, and I think it definitely fatherhood has improved me as a person. It's made me appreciate life a lot more. I always on the daily reflect on the things that I'm grateful for, but that's definitely added to how grateful I am to my wife and our little girl. And Toby's gone through that at the moment. And we've had guys, Shane Mumford in the background there, that talk about father strength and dad strength before. So hopefully that'll help us going forward. But it's definitely helped me in terms of perspective and what's really important.
Is he on a bit of a high this year?
Tobes? Yeah, no, he is, and so it should be. I think it's. It's funny when you listen to people that have had kids before, and they say, what's your proudest moment, even though in a football environment, you're surrounded by people that have had a lot of success, and a lot of the time it's around their first child. That's him at the moment. That's Toby celebrating at the moment, so he's definitely on a high. But going through it and what he's been going through the last couple of days, yeah, no doubt on cloud nine, and so he should be.
From a team perspective, had a hit out against the Swans last week, the Suns this week. What did you make of last week, and then what are you looking to improve heading into this week's hit out?
Yeah, look, the Swans were sharp. I think we were pretty sluggish early on in the game, and I guess this week in particular, not only training but the game against Gold Coast will be around sharpening. Definitely a few things heading into that opening round, but I thought they were really classy at the moment, the Swans, and it was just good to get back out there and just play all together. Obviously, the squad this week may be a little bit smaller in terms of guys that are playing, but yeah, we look forward to it, and it's one step closer to our opening round.
It's round one, and we're talking about in terms of a league-wide issue. We're talking about head contact again. Obviously, Pal Pepper, he's referred straight to the tribunal. Is that something that you're critically aware of as a team about changing the way you go about racing for contact?
Yeah. Look, it's definitely something we spoke about. I must say our doctors and AFL doctors in particular are amazing in terms of the education around the severity of the issue. And while we are talking about it, just to Angus Brayshaw, massive congratulations. I know a lot's been said about why he's finished his career, but a massive congratulations from myself and the whole playing group and staff here. Wonderful player. and always won when you come up against it. It's so difficult to match up on his versatility. So congratulations to him. But yeah, it's a serious issue, and now there's more education on it, not only in AFL but around the world. We do need to take certain precautions to limit that, definitely.
Is that something that, as a playing group during the off-season, you've really worked on, whether it be lowering that contact height? Is that something that now, because we're seeing the AFL really clamp down on it, that you have to be mindful of the way you go into contest?
A little bit technique-wise, but I think the biggest change for me over 10, 12, 13 years in the game is probably checking in. I want to, early days, maybe if you did get a head knock or you were a bit rattled, you probably wouldn't say anything. And if someone, one of your teammates saw you, they probably wouldn't, alarm anyone or say anything. Whether now guys are, more aware of it and they care for each other a bit more. I reckon they would speak up a lot more than they would when I first started, which is, progressively step forward.
In terms of Thursday's game, obviously a lot of seasons you'll have that week off between the last practice game and the opening round, and really don't get that luxury this year because of the opening round. Do you think that'll change how maybe the team manages minutes and things like that on Thursday?
No, I don't think so. Particularly, because we do play Thursday, so really we play the following Saturday, a couple of extra days of recovery. I know for me in particular, practice games are always harder. It's a mental challenge sometimes. You obviously want to be ready for the start of the season, but for us to be able to just continue with momentum, I believe sometimes, a week off you don't really need. So to be able to play 2 practice games and go straight into the opening round is perfect preparation.
A few injuries floating around, obviously Harry and Isaac, two of the main guys who've probably been that best 23. Are there any young guys who have kind of impressed you or pushing for those spots? Yeah,
look, I think, if you look at Jacob Weir, Ryan Anger and those guys that we've seen feature before, that are, they played AFL football and played at a really good standard, so they're obviously putting their hands up. And forward of the ball, there's definitely some options. Darcy Jones, but those guys that you did mention, luckily they're only probably short-term injuries, and we'll have them back sooner. But the competition and guys are a year older and they want to play AFL football. They don't just want to play VFL all the time. And that healthy competition you're starting to see in the group.
And just on young Harvey Thomas, he was the only draftee to kind of play last week, but really impressed and has kind of put him in the frame to potentially make a round 1 debut, which could be pretty special.
Yeah, I should have mentioned him. I think, chatting to him after the game, you could see, I've been in his position obviously a long time ago, but I reckon you could, see in his face that a bit, what's going to go on here. And I reckon at the end of the game, I spoke to him afterwards and said, mate, you can play at this level, and you've just shown that. Obviously, it's not an AFL game, but he showed enough definitely, and he's only going to get, better for this season and beyond. But I expect a lot of games from him in this Giants top.